and breast cancer. So you may have heard this before, and it's, well, I'm not going to give it away just yet, but it's, I think it's important to understand where this came from. So there is a lot of information on the internet. You'll hear a lot of doctors in my field of functional medicine that still have concerns about soy. And I hear it all the time. And whenever I hear something over and over again, I mean, one of the delights of being in this field is to take an opportunity to revisit a subject and make sure that I'm staying on the cutting edge and I haven't missed anything, because things change. And that's what I consider really fun about it. And I try to, on this channel, keep you up to date as I keep myself and my team keeps me, we kind of do that for each other, up to date. And so I want to talk about soy, because soy is actually a great product. It's very high in protein. So where did the whole idea come from that one of the components of soy, which are called phytoestrogens, so phyto means plant, so they're phytoestrogens are estrogen-like, somewhat similar to mammalian estrogens, and that these could lead to cancer, specifically breast cancer. Where it came from was actually mouse studies, and if you follow nutritional research and medical research, we do a lot of studies on animals, and mice and humans, believe it or not, have a strong correlation in a lot of areas. Not so when it comes to isoflavones. So we have these phytoestrogens, so this estrogen-like compound, it looks similar to estrogen that's made in soy, and isoflavones are one of these phytoestrogens. So it turns out that isoflavones in mice are processed very differently than they are in humans. And so what they did find in mice is that increased tumor growth when the mice were given a certain amount of isoflavones. So this then's translated into this concern about soy. However, when you look at human studies, which is what we, if you can get them, you want to look at human studies to make sure it correlates. That has not been found. In fact, the reverse has been found, that the populations that eat the most soy have the lowest incidence of breast cancer. Also, should a woman get breast cancer, better survival rate, also less incidence of getting the disease again. So across the board of incidence, survival, and then as far as getting the disease again, everything is lower. Everything is so much better when it comes to the populations that eat a lot of soy. So the research just really shows that this is not a concern. Now, what is a concern, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention it, is the fact that in our country, here in the United States, most of our soy is GMO. So that adds an aspect to soy that does turn it into a negative. So when I'm talking about the benefits of soy and it being a great plant protein, it's quite high in protein, it's protective, as we just went over, against breast cancer, I am only talking about organic soy, not GMO soy. So I'm not talking about soybean oil, which is a cheap oil that is used in a lot of processed foods. So I'm not asking you to buy some ultra processed food just because you see soybean oil on the label. No, I'm actually talking about eating edamame, consuming tofu, finding a soy milk that just has soybeans and water as the ingredients. And I recently, you get in habits of buying certain foods, and you see the label and you go, yep, that's the one I get. And, kind of looked at the label in a new unit of time and said, oh, this has too much in it. And so found an organic soy milk that says soybeans, water, that's it. And I make my chia pudding with that every morning, and it gives me a nice bump of protein. So let me look at my notes and make sure that I didn't forget anything. No, that's what I wanted to go over. And so if you've been afraid of soy, if you've been afraid of soy milk, if you're really wanting to make sure you get more protein, if you enjoy tofu, I've got a lot of great recipes. If you need them, let me know. But you don't have to be afraid of it, but it must be organic. So no more cause for concern on that one. The evidence is just does not support any concern, and I'd be very, very surprised after all this time if research would suddenly flip on its head about this. So if you have any questions about your health, if you want to improve your health, and you're not sort of happy with your current level of health, then please reach out. That's what we're here for. If you like this content, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up.